We're back again for another garden tour of Tessa's Messes in the Garden. So, we're going to start again with the tomato trellis, and as you can see, we've made a few changes. We now have a shade cloth on the trellis, which has helped tremendously. The tomatoes still get probably about 6 hours of direct sunlight from the time that the sun hits them as it comes over the roof. But then they get some nice shade in the afternoon, and it keeps them from wilting down so badly. This particular shade cloth is a 20 by 8 or 10, I can't remember now exactly. I got it from Amazon, and it's a 30% shade cloth, so it helps really well. And as you can see, the tomatoes have definitely grown quite a bit since the last time I did a video, and I'm struggling a little with blossom end rot, so we're losing a lot of tomatoes to that, but overall they're doing really well. They're blooming, they're putting on fruit, and we'll just see what happens. Some of them are looking pretty good. Here on the Cherokee Purple, we've got a couple. And then this is the Sun Gold Cherry. I don't know if you know, but that was a plant that I started in hydroponics, and I realized that was not going to work, having it in hydro inside. So I moved it to soil, and it was just a total drama queen and flopped over and was very, very dramatic for a couple of weeks until I finally got it hardened off and put out here. And when I put it out here, it was about that big, if that. And I said, okay, now you got to fight for what you want. Yeah, I think it's doing just fine because it's as big as all the others that have been out here the whole time. And we'll take a quick walk down. Like I said, I've lost so many tomatoes to blossom end rot. I've been watering with the CalMag, but I'm still trying to figure out this whole grow bag situation and how to water in a grow bag, and especially with tomatoes, because these guys are going to get so big. They're already getting close to the top of the trellis, and we'll have to figure something out when they hit that point. But I'm still figuring it all out, so this is why it's Tessa's Messes, because I make lots of messes till I get it figured out. And these guys I'm excited for. These are black strawberry. Cannot wait to try those. They're coming. So this is the tomato trellis, now with shade cloth. And you can see the shade cloth I got has grommets in it. So I just used zip ties to secure the shade cloth to the top of the trellis with the zip ties. And then on the ends, I secured it around the post. Okay. And we still haven't managed to do anything with this tomatillo. We need to get it caged up because it is all over in the tomatoes right now. And then this little tomatillo is just kind of hanging out here where all the other pots used to be for the eggplants. We had a tree here, and now it's a big hole. So I just put a pallet over it and put the eggplants under the shade cloth to kind of help shelter them a little bit. So here we have purple eggplant, and they're doing pretty good. We've got a purple one coming now. So they're pretty happy where they are. And this is a dar cucumber. I started those seeds not too long ago, and they just exploded. I've probably got too many cucumbers in there, but that's me. I make a mess. And you can see this is at the other end of the shade cloth, and I looped the zip tie underneath that. This is a tomato cage that we have upside down, and I put a brick on the wire at the bottom, and I am going to let these cucumbers grow. They're going to grow up the tomato cage, and then I'm just going to let them have fun on the shade cloth. That's the plan anyway. And here is one of the red eggplant. Doing pretty good, pretty happy here. And then the plan is to move tomatillos to these particular cages. And you can see I'm just hooking at the top here. I'm hooking the grommet through where the cage comes together. We had used these for tomato cages a few years ago, and they worked okay. Weren't great, but they were good enough. So we're going to try to reuse them for the tomatillos, the 2 tomatillos, and the 2 bigger cages. There's a bigger one down there. And then I was thinking about putting an eggplant in the smaller cage, but I haven't quite decided yet. And here is another red eggplant, and it is very happy. And I am very happy as well that it's doing so well. And this is a white eggplant, and something's going on with it. I'm not sure exactly what, but it is not happy and it's covered with ants. So we'll have to figure that out. And here's another red eggplant and the corner anchor on the shade cloth. And you can see it's got pretty big fruit coming. And I've got some flowers. I've kind of rearranged my flower pots to attract some pollinators to this area, and it looks pretty good, I think. And it's nice. I can sort of almost walk under the shade cloth. And if you haven't, stupid blossom end rot, if you've never worked with shade cloth before, I was shocked last year how much cooler it is under the shade cloth when you're in the direct sun. It's amazing. So here we have the mouse melon, looking good. I'd say it's pretty happy too. Got lots of fruit on it. And here is the big tomatillo. And this guy is probably about as tall as my ear now on this branch right here. It's doing really well. Oh, hello, bumblebee friend. And doing great. And this sunflower is about done. Here is the white eggplant that I overwintered. And it's got fruit on it. And it's pretty happy for as much abuse as it got from aphids and everything else this winter. And I've just kind of letting the collards go and do their thing. If they're going to bloom, they'll bloom. If not, I'm thinking about pulling them soon. And here we have Cajun okra. And here is the sweet snake pepper. And it is very happy. And we have its brother over there putting on snakes as well. And the lettuce and carrots are doing pretty good. We've got the lemongrass and rosemary. And then the volunteer marigolds are still coming on. And then down there in the corner is Old Reaper. I got that in trade from Mr. Whistle at Pepper Lovers. And he sent me Old Reaper and a chocolate ghost. And I sent him a Sugar Rush peach. I think I got the better end of that trade. So here are the lemon drops. They're on the top of the Pepper Stadium, and you can see there's a little bit of room, a little more room than there used to be. I've had to move some peppers off the Pepper Stadium. One of the issues with this is that it's full west, so it gets a lot of direct sunlight for a lot of the day. So I'm working out a way to get some shade here. And I'm still kind of dealing with the engineering in my head of how we're going to do it, but we're going to try to start building that this weekend. I've got more flowers here. And here we have the lemon spice jalapenos, and they are living up to being productive, just like I was told they would be. They're being very productive. I ate a green one yesterday, just to kind of get the heat level, gauge the heat level and the flavor, and I got a little bit of citrus and a lot of heat, so they're going to be really good for pickling and things like that. These are the habanero. They're coming on, putting peppers on. I'm very happy with how they're doing, but they need more space. All of these jalapenos and habanero need more space. So we're still working out the logistics for the Pepper Stadium Phase 2. And we'll see how that goes. This Sugar Rush peach is going crazy. Absolutely putting tons of fruit on. And there's my 5 color peppers, and they're doing really well. And no, I still haven't harvested those ripe peppers yet. So this guy's got flower petals on him. Another Sugar Rush peach. Sugar Rush peach. More flowers. They're so bright. I wish I could take a good picture of them, but they are so bright they just blow out the camera every time. And then these are my Butchalokia chocolate. And they're blooming and got itsy bitsy peppers. And more Sugar Rush peach over here. I want to get all these off the ground, but that's going to have to wait for Pepper Stadium Phase 2. And then here is the poor little pumpkin spice jalapeno that I keep forgetting where it is. It's back here on the ground. And there is another loaded Sugar Rush peach, and another one there. So I am really happy with how they're doing. And here we have hyssop. And I've really enjoyed watching the bees and the butterflies come to this. It's one of the reasons I let it grow, or grew it, and I overwintered it from last year. and they are just really loving it a lot. So again, one of the issues with this is that it's full sun in the afternoons. We do have a tree here that shades this front corner for a little bit, but it's just too much sun. So we had gotten some pallets, and I put the variegated and the plants that like shade over here under the tree. So let me go over here and show this part now. So this is where the Buena Mulata and the Chiltepine and the Tiger Jalapeno and Matapino all live now. And I also moved a Buena Mulata, no, not Buena Mulata, Habanada over here, just to see how it would do in the shade. And it's actually looking a lot better. It was kind of struggling in the full sun. So we've got some, yay, peppers coming on the Buena Mulata. And there was a bloom on one of the Chiltepine the other day. I was excited about that, so maybe I'll get some Chiltepine peppers soon. And then here is the Tiger Jalapeno, and it's variegated, so I knew it would appreciate being in the shade. And here is my wonderful green, mostly green Matapino that started putting out variegation. And we now have a peppermint stripe, or a spearmint stripe, should say. Spearmint stripe pod. That's so beautiful. But if you look close, the other pods also have striping as well, which kind of surprised me, but I'm glad I let these guys live and I didn't cull them just because they were green. They are putting on a show for me now. So they may not be the most white Matapinos in town, but they are still giving me a lot to look at and enjoy. Alright, and here's another little Matapino and another Matapino that's just kind of struggling. I'm going to keep an eye on him and see what's going on with him. And then we have a struggling Buena Mulata. I may pick those just to give it a chance to grow more stem. But this is how things are laid out now. So we have a little more room on the Pepper Stadium. We've got another Pepper Stadium coming. And then these were the Braid Fail Buena Mulatas for the 2022 PLC Challenge. So this is where we are. And this is the current state of the garden. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'll see you on Pepper Lovers.